Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're talking about Wyvern 11 and my preparations for it. This might give you some ideas if you want to start doing Wyvern 11 as well. As you can see, I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm making my way there, and I'm sure once I get my team prepped, we'll smooth sailing, blah, blah, blah. So I know you probably don't have a lot of confidence right now in my advice since I haven't done it myself, but hey, we're getting there, and I'm just showing you my processes. So Wyvern 11 is a little bit special and unique. It's different from Wyvern 10 because in Wyvern 10, the dragon can attack randomly, more or less, but in Wyvern 11, your front line is the only thing that gets hit by his fire breath, which means it's absolutely mandatory to have a tanky front line, and in most cases, you want it to be a water type. Yes, there are some people who can tank with some other special units, some light or dark, super massive tanks, but in general you want a front line that has tons of HP and is water. So what I was kind of wishing on my last summoning session was that I would get Angelica, would raise her, and she would be my front line. I have seen tanky enough Angelicas to be a solo tank, solo heal. If you have like a side tank slash buffer with Arius, I've seen that work. However, in most cases, unless she's going to be super duper tanky, you probably will want an extra healer there or an off tank, etc, etc. So what my perfect comp would be if I had Angelica would be Angelica as the frontline, Luna as DPS. I'm currently focused on raising Tower Norgard here for my defense breaker and also a little bit of extra damage. I'm going to eventually give him the Daydream Joker artifact here, where he's doing more damage equivalent to the max health. I'm slowly working on that as well as I'm slowly working on Tower Norgard. And finally, you do need a healer regardless of what you're running. And yeah, Angelica would be freaking perfect. But unfortunately, I don't have her. Before I raise this man, which is Aether, yes, I'm going to try Mascot Hazel. And I know, she's not water. She will increase his combat readiness by 10% every time she attacks. But Mascot Hazel, with a level 18 Rod of Amaryllis, could potentially not only be enough healing, but the fact she has 2 non-attack skills, which will not increase, I may have just come to a realization that Hazel may not work that well. I mean, I'm still gonna try her, but if I recall correctly, the dragon gets that combat readiness when their turn ends, not necessarily when he takes damage from them. So unfortunately, I was going to be all like, yeah, she's not even going to be attacking him that often. She has 2 super low cooldown healing skills, which won't attack, an attack up, and only 1 actual physical attack that she should only be using like half the time. Upon remembering this information just now, yeah, it's a little bit less exciting, but regardless, after I get Tower Norgard raised and unfortunately a frontline besides Angelica, I'm going to give it a try with Hazel first, because she does have the attack up, which will really help getting rid of that shield, because that's one of the most important things. If you can't get rid of his shield, your run's over pretty much. Once he slams into your entire team, it's GG. My plan for Tower Norgard is level 50 to start, with a combination of effectiveness and speed and throwing whatever offensive stuff I can. I want to get his spear art up to at least +2 for that 10% effect chance, 60% defense down chance. Of course, preferably you want that to get to +4 for the 15%, and that goes up to like 75. That's really good. The more discipline skill enhances you have, the better. Dual attack is an extra chance for that defense down, and this you don't need to mess with really at all. In fact, I've heard when you're autoing, just turn his skill off, so he's only doing his basic attack. We also have the Unity set here, which further increases his chance for dual attacks by 4%, and I believe you can stack that, so if you want to give him like 12% more dual attack chance on top of this, getting that defense down often. But he also should be faster than your main DPS. In my case, it's going to be Luna, because you kind of want that defense down before your DPS attacks to have the most damage possible. My Luna is pretty slow right now with 143, because I'm kind of in the middle of a gear change right now, and it's a little bit weird. I might keep it for now because 143 is pretty easy to beat. However, it might not be enough to beat the dragon, if that makes sense, because the defense down only lasts 1 turn. And yeah, but regardless, once Tower Norgard is built, then I'm going to be moving on to Crozet, wherever he is. He was a free hero from Connections, if I recall correctly. Yes, here he is. I believe I actually have 2 of him, so we can get like effect resistance. But yeah, as you can see, I currently haven't done anything with him at all. But you know, he's a frontline tank. He's natural 4-star, so he'll have slightly better stats, and I don't really have anyone else. Like, it's kind of a shame. Like, I'm sure as soon as I build up my full team and it's like going okay, but like I have some fails here and there, I'm gonna pull Angelica, and then it'll be like, oh well, what am I supposed to do with Crozet now? Bask is also a solid choice. I mean, he has attack down here. Second skill doesn't do much, I guess, but this one, you know, we got immunity, but I believe immune can be removed by the dragon's attacks, so that's not super good. But then there's also barrier. There are a lot of good options for frontline tanks. Most of which I don't have. Rose can increase attack, give barriers, and increase her own defense if she's under 50%. Tywin is quite awesome as well. He can increase his own defense and defense break with his ult, increase attack and crit chance for himself and an ally for 2 turns. Of course, Diane as well. You know, she can have tons of HP, she's water. You'll probably need an extra healer though, as she doesn't do too much healing, if any at all, just granting barriers and increased attack, but she could be a frontline as long as you have another healer alongside. So yeah, the most important thing is going to be her frontline. If they die, the run's over. But also you need lots of DPS. Why do I keep landing on her? But also you need lots of DPS to make sure his shield breaks when he puts the shield up. That's where Tower Nord Guard comes in clutch with his defense break. Hopefully it's pretty consistent for your runs. And if so, then your DPS can do the rest of the work. So my plan's a pretty much pure free to play. Luna isn't really free to play, obviously, but like she was kind of guaranteed after 120 summons. So, you know, you could technically get her if you had saved up free to play currency like I have. So as far as gear is concerned, obviously you want your tank to be decked out in full defensive stuff, HP, defense. The sort of thrown around numbers are like 1.2 to 1.3k defense and like 15,000 plus HP. You'll need to be able to tank and have time for your healers to heal you. So with high level HP and defense accessories, that should be no problem. You get 50% with an 85. I believe that actually goes up to 60% if it's like red. Yeah, 60% attack here on these red boots, 85. My Destina, for example, is way over the requirement as far as health is concerned, but defense is a bit lacking. She needs a couple hundred more. But then again, I don't even bother with that since she is Earth and not going to be able to tank regardless of what I put on her. And then if you're planning on bringing a debuffer like Tower Nord Guard, which is a pretty high recommendation for most people. I mean, he is quite good. He's water, defense breaking, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing for him is effectiveness, followed by speed. You want at least 55% effectiveness to more consistently get those defense downs so the dragon doesn't resist it. After that, more speed is always good. Should be a little bit faster than your DPS as far as I've heard, so that again, the defense break comes before the DPS. And then dual attack chance. You know, you can never have enough dual attack chance, which you can get from these pretty hard, pretty rare Unity set equipments. So once you have the 55% effectiveness, a decent chunk of speed, then you're basically just going to be putting everything else into offense, damage. He doesn't need survivability because he won't be the front line. He's going to be off to the side where he doesn't get touched, more or less. And then for your healer, if I really do have to resort to raising this boy, I've actually seen it done with a level 40 Aether. So like if Hazel doesn't work out, I'm going to just throw Aether in as is and probably just swap out the gear for something with more whatever he scales off of. I believe that would be attack. Casters attack and the target's max health. Okay, so if you have a ton of health on your front line, then pretty strong barrier there. I just don't want to raise him. Literally last resort. He's just too much of a meme. And finally, build your DPS like a DPS. My Luna really wants like more crit damage, but I have nothing to raise anything, no currencies anywhere, so it's just kind of hard at the moment. But I'm eventually gonna at least swap out this necklace with this crit damage necklace over here. Haven't been getting super lucky thus far. Gotten some effectiveness, which isn't bad, but then a health roll as well. I actually should have gotten 3 rolls so far, but it looks like I've gotten 2. Which is weird, unless effectiveness went up by like 1%, which I guess could be a thing, but whatever. So unfortunately, we can't even really do like a test run right now to see what needs to be worked on since my Crozet is still level 5. I mean, I guess we could throw Bask in there, why not? So this is kind of what my team would look like if you replace Bask with Crozet. I could try raising him anyway, Bask, because he's already level 50, he already has some gear on. But yeah, this is pretty much what it would look like, swapping out Hazel with Aether. If that doesn't work out, let's give it a try. Don't die, Bask, I believe in you. Also, I need a lot of stuff on Tower Nord Guard, like gear and skill ups with Molgora's. Barrier. That's a decent barrier, actually. No, not Tower nor Guard. Let me at least get to the dragon. All right, we've made it to the dragon. Let's see if Bask... Oh, Bask isn't even at full health. Let's see if he can... Well, let's just see what happens to poor Bask. Okay, yeah. 9,000 with just 2 breaths. I mean, it was a little unfortunate that both were criticals. Regardless, here is Hazel's turn. We're going to use a non-attack. I just want to kind of see if, like, I know it does say when the turn ends, but just make sure. Yeah, it looked like he actually did go up in combat readiness. Luna, no! Luna can actually take it pretty well, actually. Maybe she should be my tank. I mean, she does have Sigurd's Scythe. No. I guess I'll get back to you guys in like a month on this, when everything is pretty much finished. My bottleneck as of recently has been gold. I could raise like 1 piece of gear and then I'm like completely broke again for a while, and it kind of sucks. And then it turns out to be not that good of a gear anyway, and then, yeah, so that's a bit of a grind. But regardless, that'll do it. Make sure to tell me what you think. If you are already autoing Wyvern, was it Wyvern? I forgot. 11, then you can share your strategy in the comments down below. Give other people some tips. Maybe some other weird strategies that I haven't really thought of. Maybe Yuna in there, perhaps. Maybe not. Attack and speed buff might be interesting, who knows. But yeah, make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. Leaving a like to enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Also, you can subscribe if you want. Thanks guys, as always, for watching, and until next time.